Hello everybody and welcome back to Crap Car Collective. And I'm going to give you some news here that you're probably not expecting. I've come to the decision after much mental deliberation that I'm going to sell my beloved Rover Streetwise. I can't quite believe I've just uttered that sentence really, but I feel as though I've brought this car as far as I can with my skill set and my resources. I don't really know where else I can go with it. It just needs money that I haven't got and that I would prefer to invest elsewhere, time that I don't really have as well, and skills that also I don't have and will take me quite a long time to acquire and develop. So join me inside as I discuss it all further. Yes, sadly I think it's just time for me to move this thing on. Makes me very sad to say that, but I just feel like I've brought this as far as I can really. As I said there a moment ago in the intro. And also, you know, when you start losing interest and losing passion in something, it's then usually time to just move it on. There's so many other cars that I want to try and want to drive and want to bring places and want to experience. And unfortunately, with my means at the moment, I can't just buy whatever I want, whenever I want, because I haven't got the storage, I haven't got the finances. I have to operate a one-in, one-out policy, I'm afraid. And that means that this magnificent car has to be sacrificed, sadly. So what does it need? Well, to get it back on the road properly, it's going to need 4 new tyres, because the ones that are on it are easily 11, 12 years old, I think, and are quite cracked. You can drive on them, and I have done all of the miles I've done in this, about 2,500, 3,000 miles since I bought it on those tyres. I probably shouldn't have done, but they're all going to need replacing. It's going to need a patch of welding on the rear chassis leg. I've welded the sills up to an okay standard, to the point where they're solid, but the chassis leg one was a little bit too close to the fuel tank, and I couldn't get an earth on it, and there was definitely something up there telling me to get that done professionally, which of course I haven't actually done. As you can see, the door card is missing. I do have it, but the electric window doesn't work. Passenger one goes down and goes all the way back up perfectly. This one will go down sometimes if you fiddle with the wiring, or you like put your hand in there and press against it. Not going to do that because I'll end up fingerless. So I don't think it's a switch that's the fault, because I swapped them and that didn't really make any difference. It could be the Pectron immobilizer, which is in behind the glove box in there somewhere. Look, I think it's beyond my skill set. You got to open it up and resolder it and all that kind of stuff. Not something I'm really prepared to put any kind of time and effort into, sadly. It's going to need a new clock. It's going to need a new heater resistor as well, because it's currently only working on, hang on, 1 doesn't work, 2 doesn't work. It does work on 3 today and 4. But I've been sat in it recently when it's been on 3 and it just dies for some strange reason and only works on 4, so that's going to need fixing. The headlining doesn't look very pretty. It is defying gravity though, most places, thanks to lots of drawing pins, but got a bit of a musty smell about it because of all the damp that was in here and prevails because there's water getting into the boot, which I've mostly managed to fix. There's a little bit still getting in somewhere. I've had to reseal the sunroof actually today because there was water getting in and it's still quite damp up here. And there's water getting in through the rear door. And I've got just a piece of newspaper there. And yeah, that's damp. And the carpets are damp. Yeah, really, really wet actually. Can I show you how wet that is? Can you see dampness on my fingers? Don't know, can you? Not sure. Are they glistening? Anyway, yeah, there you go. Just about to see it. So it's stuff like that when you have to keep correcting things 4, 5, 6 times, like I've had to with the leaks in this thing. You just think, let's just get rid. Honestly, let's just try something else. It's just frustrating. And of course, it's coming into the winter now. This is late October, so you know, it's Ireland in the Northern Hemisphere. We're going to get loads of rain, and I don't really want to be persevering with a car that is leaking so much water. It's just no fun in that, really. It has had new brake pads, which have made a big difference. It will need new brake discs, and it'll probably need the brakes bleeding as well. They do stop the car pretty well, but it just feels a little bit spongy when you put your foot on them, so I'd advise you probably getting that done. It's had a new exhaust back box as well. There's a slight blow, though, from the joint between the back box and the pipe that goes from the manifold all the way down the downpipe, because I forgot to put a gasket on it, which wasn't great, was it? I've kind of gunked it all up with exhaust sealant and that to try and form one, but it just, you can hear it when you rev the engine. It is quite blowy. Off the top of my head though, I think that's it actually, which isn't too bad for one of these. Mechanically it seems absolutely fine. The coolant level has never dropped. I've never had any kind of issues with mayo under the oil cap, so I think the head gasket is absolutely fine. I've got a sneaking suspicion it might have been done because the exhaust manifold heat shield thing in the engine bay is missing. Now, of course, that could have just gone rattly over time and somebody's taken it off to stop the noise. But I've seen on other cars that have had the head gaskets done that people often don't bother to replace them. So maybe. And I mean, what are we sitting on now? We're sitting on 82,166 miles, and, you know, there's no sign of any issues. And it's kind of, well, anything from 0,000 miles to now where you'd expect head gasket issues, really. So maybe this one's a good one, or maybe it's had it done. When I mentioned the sunroof before, I've taken out the fuse because it was just leaking so much water. So I just took the fuse out as a fail-safe so that, you know, if we do have some nice weather, I don't decide to open up the sunroof and ruin all the sealing. Just so you're aware, the car does not come with any service history at all, sadly. That's why I'm doing a lot of guesswork with the mechanicals. So how much then am I looking for this wonderful Rover Streetwise? Well, I'm asking 600 quid and I'm open to offers. I just really want this thing to survive and hopefully go into the hands of an enthusiast, someone that appreciates MG Rover products. There ain't many of these left at all. There are, probably 500-600 left in the UK. And here in Ireland, it's easily less than 10. It's probably less than 7 or 8, really, at this stage. I know of a few others that are still on the road or that are lying about. So yeah, I think that's a pretty fair price. I've put some good work into it to try and keep it as on the road as I possibly can, and obviously the price is just to reflect my own efforts and the fact that this is quite a rare car nowadays. If you happen to be interested in this wonderful car, you can of course follow me on Instagram or Twitter or comment on this video. I'll put all the details for those social media handles on the screen now, or you can also email me at this email address and make me an offer. As I said, I'm looking for 600 quid. I am happy to consider offers because I really just want this thing to go to a caring and loving home. I will, of course, be posting it probably on other car websites, on Facebook Marketplace, and on different MG Rover groups and that. It's just sad, really is sad that I have to get rid of it, but onwards and upwards for the channel. I realise I have to diversify, and I want to as well. This isn't necessarily a sale through gritted teeth. I do want to move on and try other things. Thank you very much for watching. Those other things hopefully will be coming to the channel fairly soon. But yeah, as I said, if you like this car and you would like to make me an offer, get in touch.